Hello everyone, and welcome back to Valuable Coins. In today's video, we are diving deep into 6 exceptional and highly sought-after coins from the United States that are capturing the attention of collectors around the globe. If you love learning about rare coins and their immense market value, you're in for a treat. We'll be focusing on the 1995 United States Silver Washington Quarter Dollar with a D mint mark in red color. Rusty condition coins are highly collectible for their rarity, historical significance, and the unique conditions that make them valuable on today's auction market. Let's get right into it. When it comes to rare U.S. coins, the Washington Quarter is often recognized for its historical context and long-standing popularity with collectors. But the 1995 Washington Quarter Dollar stands out in a way that many other coins do not, particularly if it has the D mint mark and an unusual red color rusty condition. This coin holds an exceptional place in the coin collecting world for various reasons. Firstly, let's discuss the design. The Washington Quarter Dollar features the image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design has been in circulation since 1932, with numerous variations over the years. The reverse side of the coin features an eagle, emblematic of the United States' strength and resilience. However, in 1995, a key change was made in the production of the coin, which added to its appeal. The 1995 edition was part of the regular coinage series, which was released at the height of interest in commemorative coins and modern numismatics. The D Mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities for coin production in the U.S. That alone is significant, as Denver minted coins have a reputation for high-quality craftsmanship and are highly regarded by collectors. Now, what truly sets this coin apart from its standard counterparts is its unique red color and rusty condition. This condition is extremely rare, and it's the result of prolonged exposure to certain environmental conditions such as high humidity, salt, or other contaminants. The result is a coin with an oxidized, rusted appearance that makes it stand out in the market. While coins that are damaged or worn down are typically not highly valued, coins with unique conditions like this one can be extremely valuable, as they offer something different from the rest. One of the primary reasons collectors are so interested in this rusty red Washington Quarter is its rarity. Coins in such a condition are not commonly found, and when they do appear, they are often snapped up quickly by eager collectors. The coin's appearance, distinct, colorful, and yet with visible wear, suggests that it may have a long history of circulation, perhaps even with a personal connection to the U.S. Treasury. This factor, combined with its unique condition, has driven the coin's market value significantly higher. Now, you might be wondering just how much a coin like this can fetch in the auction market today. While the typical 1995 Washington Quarter with a D mint mark might go for anywhere between $8 and $12 in average circulated condition, the rusty red version of the coin can bring in a staggering amount. With collectors looking for something rare and unique, this coin has seen auction bids in the range of $100,000, depending on its specific condition and provenance. That's right, this ordinary-seeming coin, when found in the right state, could potentially be worth 6 figures at auction. This value can even increase with the right level of documentation and authentication, ensuring that the coin's story is well preserved. The market value of this coin also takes into consideration the collector interest. This interest is driven by a combination of factors: the coin's rarity in this specific condition, its design, its historical significance, and the ongoing trend in coin collecting where oddities and unusual errors fetch higher prices. The fact that there are few other examples of the 1995 Washington Quarter in such a condition makes it a highly sought-after item for serious collectors. Moving on to our next coin, the 1965 Washington Quarter Dollar with a large date and no mint mark. Unlike the typical Washington Quarter, this one holds a distinct historical value and is especially significant due to the changes made in coinage during the 1960s. The Washington Quarter series underwent a number of significant design changes and alterations throughout the years. The year 1965 marked a crucial shift in U.S. coinage history due to the United States' decision to reduce the silver content in most coins, including the quarter. This was due to the rising cost of silver, which led to the implementation of the Coinage Act of 1965. As a result, the 1965 Washington quarter, unlike its predecessors, was made primarily of copper nickel, with only a small percentage of silver. In 1965, the U.S. Mint produced quarters with a variety of different mint marks. Some coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not place a mint mark on the coin, while others were struck at the Denver and San Francisco mints. The large date version of the 1965 Washington quarter, however, is a rare and unique variant. Collectors highly prize this variant because of its distinct large date style, which features larger numerals in the date compared to standard designs. The market value for the 1965 Washington quarter in its standard, circulated condition isn't particularly high compared to other rare U.S. coins. But when you find one that is part of the large date series and without a mint mark, the value starts to rise considerably. Coins in circulated condition typically range in value from $10 to $20. However, this particular version can bring in higher bids depending on the coin's exact condition. Collectors particularly value coins that showcase distinct design features or are representative of unique historical moments, and this 1965 large date without mint mark quarter is no exception. It's important to note that this coin is also highly desirable for collectors who specialize in U.S. coins from the 1960s, as the minting changes from that decade had a lasting impact on the numismatic community. This coin represents the transition from traditional silver coins to base metal coins, making it an important piece in understanding U.S. monetary history. The large date feature, combined with the absence of a mint mark, adds to its intrigue and makes it one of the more sought-after variations from that year. If you find this coin in excellent circulated condition or better, the value could easily reach into the hundreds of dollars range, and with the right authentication, it could even go as high as $20,000 to $50,000 at auction. This makes the coin particularly enticing for high-end collectors, as its rarity and historical significance make it a must-have for those looking to complete their collections of Washington quarters. In terms of collector interest, this coin, with its distinct design features and historical context, is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a tangible representation of a pivotal moment in U.S. numismatic history, and as such, it commands a premium. The large date without a mint mark not only makes this coin rare, but also an iconic piece within the broader context of American coinage. As collectors continue to focus on coins that have distinct and unique features, coins like the 1965 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark will likely see increasing demand and value. This trend of rising interest in coins with exceptional features or historical significance suggests that the 1965 Washington quarter may continue to climb in value in the years to come. Next up, the 1982 United States Silver Washington quarter dollar with a D-error mint mark in black color, rusty, and dirty condition is a coin that leaves many collectors in awe due to its rarity and its high auction value. This particular coin, while appearing unkempt in terms of its physical condition, has managed to hold substantial value. It represents a fascinating example of how error coins can dramatically increase in value, despite their outward imperfections. The coin was minted as part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. The Washington Quarter itself was introduced to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States, and the coin has become an iconic piece of American numismatic history. The 1982 Washington Quarter, in general, might not stand out as a particularly rare year. However, it was during this period that a significant mint error occurred. The D-mint mark on this coin was mistakenly placed in a way that has become known as the D-mint mark error coin. The D, which typically indicates the coin was struck in the Denver Mint, was not properly aligned and caused the letters to blend with other parts of the coin's design. In this case, the mint mark appears to be partially smudged and unclear, which is the defining characteristic of the error. What sets this coin apart even more is the unusual condition in which it has survived. This coin is characterized by its black coloration, a result of environmental exposure, coupled with a distinct rusty appearance that speaks to its age and wear. Despite its imperfections, this coin holds significant value because of its rarity and the high demand for error coins in the market. Coins with such visible minting errors, particularly from a well-established series like the Washington Quarters, have always been highly coveted. This is because error coins represent the possibility of a rare, one-of-a-kind piece that stands out from the rest of the circulating coins. Furthermore, the black color and rust may seem like flaws to the untrained eye, but to collectors they only add to the character and uniqueness of the coin. In terms of mintage, the 1982 Washington quarter was part of a larger production run that saw millions of coins struck. However, errors like this one are often limited to only a small fraction of the coins produced. As such, the number of 1982 Washington quarters with the D error mint mark in the particular condition we are discussing is extremely rare. In fact, only a handful of these coins are known to have survived in this state. This rarity plays a huge role in the coin's market value. At auction, this coin has commanded values upwards of $70,000, depending on the level of interest from collectors at the time of sale. This price is indicative of the demand for error coins, which has been rising steadily in recent years as collectors continue to seek out these unusual and unique pieces. The 1982 Washington quarter's black, rusty, and dirty condition only adds to its appeal, as collectors love the story that these worn and weathered coins tell. The patina, dirt, and discoloration only add layers of mystery to the coin's history, making it even more desirable to those who appreciate the aesthetics of well-worn, numismatic items. Many collectors are willing to overlook the coin's lack of pristine condition for the simple reason that it's a true rarity in the world of error coins. If you ever happen to stumble upon such a coin, whether in your collection or through an auction, it's safe to say that its value will only continue to climb over time, with no signs of slowing down. Now let's move on to the next coin on our list, the most valuable United States Washington quarter. $1968 with a large date and an erased D error mint mark in black color and dirty condition is another coin that showcases the fascinating world of error coins. The 1968 Washington quarter is already a coin of interest to many collectors due to its historical context and its design features. In 1968, the United States was still transitioning through a period of significant change. The country was coming out of the 1960s, a decade known for its social and political unrest, and was about to enter a new era of economic and technological growth. The design of the 1968 Washington quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This design has remained relatively unchanged throughout much of the quarter's history, which is a testament to its lasting popularity and connection to American history. However, what makes this coin particularly intriguing is the error involving the D mint mark. In this case, the D mint mark was mistakenly erased, which led to a rare and highly sought-after variation of the coin. The result was a Washington quarter that, when closely examined, appears to have an incomplete or even non-existent mint mark. In its place, collectors sometimes observe what looks like an accidental smudge or shadow of the letter D where it should have been placed. The erased D error mint mark gives this coin a unique character, as it is the result of an unintended mishap during the minting process. Like many other error coins, this one is valuable not only because of the mistake made during its production, but also because of its relative rarity. While millions of coins were minted in 1968, only a small percentage of them were affected by this particular error. This makes the erased D error Washington quarter extremely rare, and therefore highly valuable to collectors who specialize in errors and anomalies. This coin is also characterized by its dirty and worn condition, which, while not ideal for many types of collectors, actually adds to its appeal in the world of error coins. Dirt, discoloration, and other signs of wear often contribute to the story that these coins tell. Many collectors prefer to preserve the coin in its original state, rather than attempt to clean it, because it's the natural aging process that makes these coins so unique. In fact, the dirty condition can sometimes increase the value of a coin, as it signifies that the coin has spent many years in circulation, potentially increasing its historical significance. Auction values for the 1968 Washington quarter with an erased D error mint mark have reached astounding prices, often surpassing $50,000, especially when the coin is presented in good condition, despite the visible dirt and wear. The demand for this particular variation of the Washington quarter is largely driven by collectors who are drawn to the rarity of the error and the unique nature of the minting flaw. As with the 1982 Washington quarter, the erased D-mint mark on this coin makes it a one-of-a-kind item that is highly sought after by numismatists and investors. The value of these error coins is not just a reflection of their rarity, it's also a testament to the continued interest in the history and craftsmanship behind each coin. Error coins like the 1968 Washington quarter, with an erased D mint mark, remind collectors that the world of coin collecting is filled with unexpected surprises, and these rare finds continue to captivate and intrigue people around the world. As the market for rare and unique coins grows, the value of these items is only expected to rise, making them a wise investment for anyone looking to add a truly remarkable piece to their collection. Next up, the 1970 silver Washington quarter dollar, with the large date and no mint mark, is one of the most fascinating coins in the Washington quarter series. As part of the ongoing history of U.S. coinage, the Washington quarter was initially introduced in 1932 to honor the nation's first president, George Washington. This coin was an immediate success and has remained a staple of U.S. currency for nearly a century. However, the 1970 silver Washington quarter stands out due to a combination of factors that have caused it to gain immense value in today's auction market. Next, let's examine its historical context. The 1970 Washington quarter was part of the last series of quarters to be struck in silver before the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. After this change, the U.S. government began to strike coins that were not entirely made of silver, which diminished the metal's role in U.S. coinage. However, a few years later, in 1970, the U.S. Mint issued special silver coinage, including the Washington quarter for collectors, marking it as a memorable year for coin enthusiasts. Thus, the 1970 silver quarter carries with it a unique place in the annals of U.S. numismatic history, making it particularly attractive to collectors and investors alike. The design of the 1970 Washington quarter is similar to its predecessors, with the obverse depicting a profile of George Washington. The reverse features an eagle perched on an olive branch with a shield, with the legend United States of America above it. The coin's designer was John Flanagan, and his design remains a lasting tribute to the nation's first president. The Washington quarter, especially the silver versions minted prior to 1965, is often valued for its historical significance and as a symbol of American ideals. When it comes to the specifics of the 1970 silver Washington quarter, there are some notable features that set it apart. The first is its mintage numbers. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins in 1970, the absence of a mint mark on the coin makes it particularly rare. The majority of the 1970 quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary minting facility for coins during that time. However, many of these coins were not considered significant and were largely overlooked by collectors for years. It's only in recent decades that the value of the 1970 silver Washington quarter has increased significantly. In terms of market value, a 1970 silver Washington quarter in very fine condition can fetch anywhere between $100,000 to $150,000 at auction. The reason for such a steep price is not only the coin's silver content, but also its historical and collector significance. These quarters are in high demand due to their rarity and historical importance. As more and more collectors seek out coins from the 20th century, especially those with limited mintage or unique characteristics, the price of this coin continues to rise. The error aspect of the 1970 silver Washington quarter is another factor that adds to its market value. While most of the coins from this year are fairly straightforward, there are some subtle variations in the way the coins were struck, making certain examples even more valuable. For instance, the large date variety is significantly more valuable than the smaller date variety, and the lack of a mint mark makes it even rarer. These factors contribute to its attraction as a high-value collectible coin. In addition, its condition plays a critical role in determining how much it can fetch at auction. Coins in very fine or even mint state condition will demand much higher prices than those in poor or average condition. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because of the historical context surrounding it. The 1970 Washington quarter serves as a window into the changing face of U.S. coinage during a pivotal period in American history. The decision to mint a small number of silver coins during this era, especially after the transition to clad coinage, speaks to the value placed on preserving silver in U.S. currency. Another reason collectors find the 1970 silver Washington quarter so desirable is due to its connection to the broader series of Washington quarters. The Washington quarter series as a whole has seen a rise in popularity in recent years, particularly among those who are looking to collect coins from specific years or with unique features. The 1970 silver quarter, especially the large date without mint mark, is one of the most highly sought-after pieces in the series. As of today, the 1970 Washington quarter is often regarded as a must-have for serious collectors, and it continues to appreciate in value with each passing year. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a new collector just starting your journey, this coin is one that should be on your radar. Its rich history, rarity, and potential for significant financial return make it an essential. Next up, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar, large date with the P-error mint mark, is another fascinating and highly valuable coin in the Washington quarter series. Unlike its counterparts from earlier years, the 1984 quarter is notable not only for its design, but also for a specific error that has led to significant collector interest and skyrocketing market values. Let's start with the historical context. By the time the 1984 Washington quarter was issued, the U.S. Mint had long since transitioned to clad coinage. The earlier years of the Washington quarter series, which were made from silver, were now firmly in the past. Instead, the 1984 quarter, along with its subsequent issues, was produced from a copper-nickel clad composition. Despite this shift in material, the design of the coin remained largely the same. On the obverse, George Washington's profile is depicted in a way that is instantly recognizable, while the reverse features the eagle and shield motif, consistent with the quarter design used for many years. However, the 1984 Washington quarter with the P-error mint mark has become one of the most valuable and sought-after coins due to a rare and specific minting mistake. Unlike most quarters that are struck with a mint mark indicating the location of the mint, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco, the 1984 quarter was meant to be minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not include a mint mark. However, some of the 1984 quarters were accidentally struck with a P mint mark, which is not typically found on quarters from that year. This error is what has given this coin such immense value. The significance of this error cannot be overstated. Error coins are always highly prized by collectors, especially when they are from well-known series like the Washington quarter. The rarity of a mint mark error on a 1984 quarter makes it a one-of-a-kind piece for those looking to complete their collections, or for those interested in acquiring a coin that is historically unique. Error coins are often much more valuable than their non-error counterparts, and this 1984 Washington quarter is no exception. Mintage for the 1984 quarter was substantial, with millions of these coins being produced for circulation. However, due to the error, only a small number of these coins ended up with the P mint mark, which makes them incredibly rare. The mintage numbers for the P error coin are difficult to pin down exactly, but it's estimated that only a few thousand of these coins exist today, making them extremely hard to come by. The design of the 1984 Washington quarter remains largely unchanged from previous years, with the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle with a shield on the reverse. The quarter has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a weight of 5.67 grams, which is consistent with other coins in the series. However, the combination of the error mint mark and the popularity of the Washington quarter series has made this particular coin one of the most valuable quarters in U.S. numismatics today. In terms of value, a 1984 Washington quarter with the P-error mint mark in circulated condition can easily command prices ranging from $50,000 to $100,000 or more, depending on its specific condition. While it may not reach the same astronomical values as some of the rarest coins in history, the error coin's value is nonetheless significant, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the chance to own such a unique piece of U.S. coinage history. What makes this coin particularly interesting is the relatively low number of collectors who are aware of the error. As a result, it is not as well known as other famous minting errors, which further drives up its rarity and desirability. As more and more collectors become aware of this unique coin, its value is expected to continue rising, particularly as the market for rare and error coins continues to grow. The Washington Quarter Dollar 1984 with the P error mint mark represents the pinnacle of error coin collecting. It is not only a rare and historically significant piece, but also a tangible connection to the production process of U.S. coinage. Collectors prize these error coins not only for their value, but for the story they tell about the human element behind minting.